All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Pokemon, and today I want to talk about XY Evolutions, my favorite Pokemon set to open right now of the modern sets, and how to make a little bit of money back on XY Evolutions by grading some cards that you might otherwise overlook. Now, right now, $1,000 a box for Evolutions is pretty much the going rate, and obviously the chase card is primarily the Holo Charizard. The Holo Charizard last sold in a PSA 10 for $6,973 on March 16th. So relatively recently, that card got $7,000 in a 10. So admittedly, it's much harder to get a PSA 10 grade in Evolutions because the cards generally didn't have as good of a quality control with that set. And for that reason, some of the cards are a bit harder to grade a 10, the Charizard being one of them. So in a 10, it fetches a much higher premium than in a 9. Now, in a 9, you're looking at still about a $400 card. So the Holo Charizard is really the chase card for a lot of people because you can make almost half your money back, almost guaranteed. In some cases, you might get a 7 or an 8, but if you get a 9 in that card, you get it graded. You're making about half your money back on the box with that card, a little bit less than half after you factor in the grading fees. Now, I've currently got about 500 cards with PSA, and the reason for that is right before the price increase, I became kind of aware that they were planning on increasing the price, so at the $10 per card mark with my last bulk submission, I sent in a ton of Evolutions cards that people might otherwise overlook. So I want to start out with the Reverse Holo Commons. Commons, yes, I said it, commons. So we'll start out with Pikachu. Friendly little fella. Everybody loves Pikachu. It's the face of Pokemon. The Reverse Holo Common Pikachu in XY Evolutions. Last sold in a PSA 10 for $500. Again, admittedly, it's harder to get 10s in Evolutions. That's why these certain cards are fetching a really high premium in a PSA 10. But a common Reverse Holo Pikachu, $500 is what that card is going for. So some people might overlook that card when they're getting it graded, especially now at $20 a card is what PSA is charging. You might not grade a common Reverse Holo, but the Pikachu is fetching a really nice premium in a PSA 10. That would be a card that I consider grading, and I myself sent maybe 20 of these cards at $10 a card, hoping for a PSA 10. So it's things like that where I think people might not consider sending a common card, but you could potentially make $500 on one of those cards if it comes back a 10. So something people might not think about sending in a Pikachu. Another Reverse Holo Common that I think is a great card to send in. I personally sent in a bunch of these cards as well, so that's why I'm recommending it. I don't know when I'm going to have the grades back because it was a bulk submission, and that could take as long as a year at this point. So the Reverse Holo Charmander from Evolutions. Last sold in a PSA 10 at auction for $313. It last sold in a Buy It Now for $230. No best offers were accepted. So you're looking at $250 to a $300 card potentially with a Reverse Holo Charmander in a PSA 10. Again, this is a common card. You can get a Reverse Holo of any card in this set. So when you're opening a whole box of Evolutions, you're likely to maybe get one of these cards. And again, a lot of people might pass up on grading them. But now that you're looking at $1,000 a box for an Evolutions box, if you don't pull a Charizard out of that box, you might be looking for a way to get some value back, some return on your investment, because $1,000 is not cheap. It's a pretty penny to spend on Pokemon cards. You got to look for other ways to get it back. Of course, people are looking at grading the full art cards, maybe selling raw cards. Certain holos, certain rares might get a little bit more money, like the rare Mewtwo non-holo. But I think a lot of people are overlooking the value of some of these cards. And a Reverse Holo Uncommon I want to talk about here. The Charmeleon, not as valuable. The last sold was March 3rd, and the best offer on that was accepted. It was listed at $399, so we don't know what that sold for. But on February 27th, a PSA 10 Reverse Holo Charmeleon, which is an uncommon, so the diamond symbol, sold for $189. So pretty much a $200 card right now. And it's important to say right now, because that's what these cards are going for right now. It's important to make note that we can't predict what these cards are going to be going for when all these PSA returns come back, because obviously I think a lot of people sent in Evolutions cards, a lot of people sent in Pokemon cards, but PSA, obviously a lot of people are having cards graded right now that are probably going to come back in 10, 12, about a year. So if we have this massive flood of cards to the market, maybe these values go down, maybe they go up, maybe it becomes more desirable maybe now that they raise the prices, $20 a card, maybe not as many people are willing to submit a common or an uncommon card from Evolutions, no less. So maybe you have less people submit cards like this, and maybe they become more and more rare. Who knows? But in addition to the reverse holos, here's a non-holo card. It is a secret rare, but the Flying and Surfing Pikachu is another card that I think is underrated here, that is going for a pretty penny in a PSA 10. Last sold March 3rd in a PSA 10, $175 for, again, a non-holo. It is a secret rare. Flying Pikachu, $108 on March 2nd, and they're going raw for like $10. $300 at auction with PWCC on February 27th. So really good prices on the Flying and Surfing Pikachu. The Surfing Pikachu, I believe, is a little bit more valuable, and I've seen more of these sell more recently. So on March 10th, you had 2 of these sell. One of them sold for $257 in a 10, and the other one sold for $300 in a 10. March 6th, there was the $350 best offer accepted. So the Surfing Pikachu does seem to be the more desirable of the two. So again, I just wanted to make a video to kind of help people make some money back on Evolutions, because I know recently it's become a little bit more unaffordable, but it's one of my favorite sets to open. I love opening Evolutions. I love the nostalgic feel of that set. And obviously, you guys know the big hitters of that set. You guys know these big money cards, the Mega Charizard Full Art, the Dragonite Full Art, the Mewtwo Full Art, the Full Art Trainer cards, the Brock and Misty. You guys know those have value. But some of the lesser appreciated cards, I would say, or some of the lesser submitted cards to PSA, and maybe that's why they're holding these crazy values, because maybe not a lot of people thought to submit those cards, and maybe that's why they've got these really high premiums, because there's not a lot of them out there yet. But there might be some of them out there when these massive floods of submissions come in. But just a recommendation I would make, because I personally am sending these cards in. Another one, a holo card, is the Holo Raichu. So let's search up the Holo Raichu here. So PokeKobe is actually the one that put me on this. So we'll go to sold listings. PokeKobe is the one that told me he saw one of these sell for $1,300. So we're at sold listings. Okay, I'm not seeing it for $1,300, but $350 in a PSA 10, sold on February 25th. So here's an offer that was accepted on February 13th for almost $1,300. Maybe that's what Kobe saw. So the Raichu Holo, decent card to get graded. Now the Charizard Holo, I think in reverse, is going for about $1,000, which I think is kind of weird, because honestly, it seems to be a lot more hard to pull a reverse holo Charizard than a holo Charizard. I've opened boxes, many more boxes that I've opened have had the holo Charizard and not the reverse than having a reverse and a holo, or having just a reverse Charizard. So it seems to be a really hard card to get, but it's going for only about $1,000, in some cases less. I've seen it go for $800-900 in a PSA 10. So just wanted to give you guys a little video where you guys might be able to gain some value back on your Evolutions. If you wanted to open it for fun, if you wanted to open it for an investment, if you wanted to open it for entertainment on a YouTube channel, the price of entry is pretty high. $1,000 a box is a crazy price. And shameless plug here, one of my plans for the channel is I want to open one box of Evolutions every single week on this channel for as long as I can sustain that, for as long as that's reasonable. The price could go to $10,000, and there's going to be no way I'm going to be able to sustain that, but at least for the foreseeable future, I will be opening an Evolutions booster box every Friday for as long as I can on this channel live. So I'm not just, I'm practicing what I preach here. I'm not just talking out of my ass, for lack of a better phrase. Evolutions is something I buy a lot of. It's something I open a lot of, and it's something I'm currently grading a lot of. And I wanted to, you know, I really think a lot of people are overlooking these common and uncommon cards, and maybe that is why the value is so high. But if I were you, I would send in, if you got a good condition, good centered looking Charmander, Charmeleon, Pikachu reverse, send them in. If you got a good, well-centered Flying or Surfing Pikachu, send it in. Some of these other holos that people might not send in, like a Raichu, it's got that base set artwork, send it in. I think the Chansey, let's look up the Chansey really quick. I think the Chansey hasn't had a PSA 10 yet. There's not a single, last I checked, there wasn't a PSA 10 Chansey. Well, here's one. $255 that Chansey sold for. And no, that's reverse. That's not a holo. So I guess we could go to the PSA Population Report website. Yeah, I'm not seeing. So that's another reverse to consider, even though it is a reverse rare, not a reverse uncommon. $255 for a reverse Chansey in a PSA 10. Not too shabby, but yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here. The hollow Chansey. I believe there hasn't been a single one graded in a 10 yet, so that's another card I would send in a lot of. If you have a lot of them that look decent, that look like possible 10 candidates, I would say the person that gets that first Chansey from Evolutions graded in a 10, they could ask for a pretty high premium on that card because it's the first one and it's the only one in population. I'm going to look it up right now, actually. All right, so PSA Population Report, XY Evolutions. Let's find this Chansey on here. So let's take a quick look at the Charizard Holo, by the way, because this is why the Charizard is going for $7,000 as of like a week ago in a PSA 10. So the total submitted Charizard Holos, 9,600. The total population, let me make sure I'm reading this right. Okay, yeah, 910. So out of those that have been submitted, out of the 9,600 that were submitted, only 200 graded in a 10, 206, and 5,800 in 8 graded in a PSA 9. So that's why there's such a massive gap with the Charizard. A PSA 9, like I said, $350, maybe $400 if you're lucky. A PSA 10, $7,000. I've seen them sell more frequently, more realistically for around $5,000. But that's why there's that massive gap. And then looks like 3,008s. But the majority of people, they're getting a 9 back for that Charizard. I've sent in quite a few Charizards. Again, none of them have come back yet, but I'm hoping for at least one PSA 10. But look at those odds. 200 out of 9,000. It's like 1 in 100. A little worse than that. Or a little better than that, actually. 1 in 100. Maybe 2 in 100. So we're looking for Chansey. Chansey. Am I tripping here? Why can I not see? I don't see a Chansey. I guess I could have looked at what the card number was for Chansey, but now I'm blanking on what number it was. No, these are all full arts. Was it at the top? Did I total? Oh, wait, there it is. I see it. Just saw it. Chansey. Okay, sorry for the delay there. Chansey Holo. 0 in a PSA 10 still. See this right here? I'll highlight it for you. 0 have graded in a PSA 10. There's still no population for a Chansey Holo PSA 10. Of the 169 submitted, 113 have come back in a PSA 9. So I would grade your Chanseys. If you got one that looks good, send it in. If you get that first PSA 10, man, I think you can ask for a pretty decent premium for that. So just wanted to give you guys, like I said, quick video, not so quick on Evolutions. I want a lot more people to be able to buy Evolutions and open Evolutions, enjoy Evolutions, get that nostalgic rush from opening it, hunting for a Charizard. That's why I buy them. The nostalgia, Charizard hunting. I haven't resold anything. I haven't flipped anything. I haven't made any money yet. But I'm just giving you guys some ideas on how to maximize your value from that Evolution set. If you're hunting a Charizard, and you buy for some reason, get a box that doesn't have a holo Charizard in it. I've gotten many boxes that haven't had the holo Charizard in it. You're probably looking at yourself like, man, how do I get back some of the value I just lost on that box? And this is a good way to do it. Check out the PSA Population Report. Start searching up on eBay, you know, some of these reverse holos, what they're selling for in a PSA 10. A very valuable tool on eBay is the ability to search listings that have already sold and look back at what something sold for and when it sold for that amount. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did in fact enjoy it. Please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed yet already. As always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Pokemon signing out.